Yo, Spidey!
Johnny Storm of the world-famous Fantastic Four. What on earth are you doing in Queens?
What, I can't be in Queens?
I have to be here, but you? Go save the world.
Sorry, Johnny, but we're gonna have to postpone this race for another day. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another really exciting Spider-Man PS4 related video. Now, before we get started, I will say to wait until the very end of the video to look at a really cool contest that's occurring within the Spidey Squad community, and one that you yourself can partake in. But until you learn about that, let's go over the recent news relating to the Fantastic Four content within Spider-Man PS4. Now, in case you missed the big news yourself, it was confirmed exactly 2 weeks ago from Marvel Games and Insomniac directly that there is going to be some form of update to Spider-Man PS4 regarding the Fantastic Four. As for exactly what this content is going to turn out to be, as well as when it's going to release, is still unknown to the general public, but we do have a few teases as to what it could be. And given how we're still waiting to see what this content actually is, I do think it's much bigger than what we're expecting it to be in general. And the reason why I say this is because of the recent live stream that Insomniac Games held yesterday, as well as the fact that the Fantastic Four World's Greatest Week is officially over. So seeing that this fantastic tease was provided to us exactly 2 weeks ago during the Fantastic Four World's Greatest Week, I think it would make more sense if this content was going to release during that time. As for the live stream, Insomniac did update their normal schedule and switching it from streaming 5 times a week to now 3 times a week. And this now generally includes streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in this particular stream, they did say that there is no update on the fantastic content that is scheduled for Spider-Man PS4 this week. However, they did confirm that they are going to be streaming Spider-Man PS4 sometime next week. And usually when they do stream Spider-Man PS4, it's mainly because they want to show off new content that has been added to the game, similar to what they did with the City That Never Sleeps DLC packs whenever those new packs released. So even though there's no official update for this piece of content this week, there could be a huge chance that they are going to reveal whatever it is next week. Which is why I also think this content is much larger than what we're anticipating. If this Fantastic Four related content was simply just going to be new skins for Spider-Man to wear in the game, I think they would have released them by now during the Fantastic Four week. And even though it isn't officially confirmed, I still find it very intriguing given that we've had to wait for this content for exactly 2 weeks, as well as the slight teases to it during the recent live stream. So while I do believe this fantastic content is scheduled to release next week, given that Insomniac is planning to live stream Spider-Man at that time, we still don't know officially what it could be. Leading me to believe that besides 3 possible alternate suits that we will receive in this fantastic update, I do think we will also receive a contextual upgrade to Marvel's New York by switching out Fisk Tower with the Baxter Building. Now, there is a slight possibility that Insomniac will only add 1 suit to this fantastic update, but seeing how long we've had to wait for it, I do think it's going to be actually more than 1. And with the inclination of having all these suits relate to the Fantastic Four one way or another, I do believe it's going to be a combination of the 3 most related ones to the group of the Bombastic Bagman, as well as Future Foundation and the all-around Fantastic Four Spider-Man suit. Not only because the Bombastic Bagman suit as well as the Future Foundation suits are costumes that are highly requested from fans, but again, these are suits that do relate to the group in a really interesting way. Plus, knowing how great Insomniac designed all the other Spider-Man costumes in the game, I have no doubt that they will make these suits look incredibly gorgeous within Spider-Man PS4 as well. Now, as to looking at the bigger picture of this content, besides adding suits that do relate to the Fantastic Four, I think that they could also easily add the Baxter Building within Marvel's New York, given that Fisk Tower is up for release at the end of the DLC for the City That Never Sleeps. Not only do I think this would be a great way to update Marvel's New York, but I also think it would make sense given where the story was headed by the end of Silver Lining. And knowing that Fisk Tower is up for lease and an incredibly large building at that, I do think it would make sense for the Fantastic Four to set renovations for the Baxter Building within Fisk Tower's place. Which leads us to the heart of the matter, which indicates that this content relating to the Fantastic Four is most likely going to be actual paid DLC rather than a free update. Now, the reason why we ended up receiving the Raimi suit, aka the web suit within Spider-Man PS4, is mainly because it was given to us as a free holiday update that Insomniac was planning to do months ahead of time. Not only because they knew how much certain fans really wanted this suit within the game, but also because they wanted to show their thanks for everyone supporting the game since day one. But knowing that the Raimi suit was included in a free update to Spider-Man PS4 during a holiday season, compared to this Fantastic Four content releasing possibly next week with with no holiday in sight, I do think this is actually going to be a paid form of DLC rather than a free update to the game. This would also make sense if Insomniac Games were planning to release the Baxter Building within Marvel's New York alongside of new suits because of how the entire layout of Marvel's New York changed whenever you access a new piece of DLC. For example, besides Fisk Tower changing within Marvel's New York as well, if you do load any one of the DLCs, Octavius Industries will also change from being open to being completely shut down given what happens at the end of the game. Meaning that if the Baxter Building were to be added within the game as a contextual update to Marvel's New York, it would be included within a paid form of DLC. And relating to the coup de grace of what I wish could happen for Spider-Man PS4's Fantastic Four update is obviously the inclusion of the Fantastic Four themselves within Spider-Man PS4. Now, we most likely won't receive any more story-related content to Spider-Man PS4, seeing how the City That Never Sleeps pack ended with Silver Lining, and that Insomniac obviously wants to save a lot of story stuff for the inevitable sequel. But if Insomniac does want to implement the Fantastic Four in a really cool way within Spider-Man PS4's universe while we do wait for the sequel, I do think a huge throwback would be to include possible Johnny Storm races in Marvel's New York. This would not only be a huge throwback to the Johnny Storm races that were in Ultimate Spider-Man, which were a lot of fun for us to go through, but I also think it would be a really cool way to test people's web swinging skills in a really fashionable and awesome way. And just imagining Spider-Man and Human Torch racing each other throughout New York completely in next-gen quality would be a huge dream to come true for me. But even though this is all hypothetical, we'll just have to wait and see until exactly what this content turns out to be, and hopefully next week where it will in fact release. And even though we don't know for sure whether or not it's going to be a free update or paid DLC, I still think it will be a paid form of content, given that a lot of people would in fact pay money to buy something relating to the Fantastic Four, and it would be a great way to continue the DLC in an awesome way for Spider-Man PS4. But with all that said, everyone, that's the video that I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. Do you think the Fantastic Four related content to Spider-Man PS4 is much bigger than what we are expecting, and what do you think it could be? Overall, I do think it is very likely that we will receive suits relating to the Fantastic Four in the main game, but if we are going to get something more like the Baxter Building or Johnny Storm races, that would just be cherry on top of this amazing sundae. And to plug in something a little extra relating to the Spidey Squad, we are currently holding a really cool and awesome competition with photo mode. So if you do go onto Twitter, Instagram, or our website, you will see that we are holding a really awesome contest for all you to participate in, where you can share all your awesome photos that you have taken in Spider-Man PS4 to possibly be shown off on all of our social media pages. So if you do feel like participating within this photo mode competition, please follow all the rules that you do see posted on screen and make sure to have a really fun time at that. And during this photo mode competition, we will continuously switch which suit that you should take pictures of to submit to us. And as for our first subject of our photo mode competition is to showcase really awesome pictures of the advanced suit in action within Marvel's Spider-Man. And in order to certify your photo for the competition, definitely use the hashtag SpideySquadPMComp, which stands for photo mode competition, to add on the picture which you post online. And besides taking extremely bold and photogenic shots, another factor which you need to add with your photo is your Twitter @ so that way we can verify who this photo comes from. And besides looking at my photo as an example for Spider-Man PS4's advanced suit, these are a bunch of other contestants' amazing photos that they have taken within the game. Not only do these pictures show amazing amounts of creativity, but they are also incredibly appealing to look at as well. And once again, if you are someone who really wants to participate within this friendly competition, please feel free to follow all the rules that were posted previously and try and be as photogenic as possible, and most importantly, have fun. But until next time, true believers, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.
Oh man, you're faster than I thought.
Now I own you!
Yeah, whatever. You ever want to race again, look me up. I'm usually hanging out by the Baxter Building.